YouTube, man. Welcome back to K-Dub-palace. I'm your host, K-Dub. We're back with another video. Um, Before I start the video off, I want to say that, I want to excuse my mood and my energy in the video. Yesterday, just a lot happened yesterday. I'm just trying to, get back on track, what I gotta do. So I'm gonna try to not be as down in this video too much. I'm gonna just try and, go do everything, as fast and quick as possible. I don't want to be rambling on for 30 minutes. So this episode might be a little bit short. There's not too much going on. But D'Angelo Ball has been making some headlines this weekend. He dropped a song called Tweaker. The song is cool. You know what I mean? But I would rather much see D'Angelo on the court. I know he had the podcast with Lonzo, his brother. And which I tune into. I tune into the podcast every Friday when it drops. Shout out to them. So I'm saying, but the song is cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's glad to see Jello finding something, else besides hoop that can kind of keep him, I want to say, like, relevant. I don't want to say it like a mean way, but to keep him relevant, it's good to see him doing something else to kind of still keep him in the loop with, everybody else that's every other influencer. It's good to see, but hopefully he's gonna get back on the court soon. I think he mentioned that he's been on like a G League, so he's trying to get in. He's trying to build his way back into the league, playing for the G League. So, yeah, shout out to Jello and shout out, hopefully the song got some views. I think it's probably at 2 million right now on World Star. I think he got about 2 million right now. Everybody in the NBA is playing it. Almost every team has been bumping the song all weekend. So clearly the song is good. Clearly. But besides that, as far as the NBA world, let's talk about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard made his return. I want to say against the Hawks. He had 12 points, 3 rebounds. I think he forced the 3 turnovers. In like 2 minutes of the first quarter. I think he was the reason for the Hawks turning the ball over 3 times in 2 minutes, which is crazy. So, wait, hold on real quick, y'all. Hold on real quick, y'all. Hold on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mute. I was just hearing Bradley Beal real quick. We're going to talk about the Bradley Beal getting benched, even though they won the game. We're going to talk about that. But Kawhi came back, I want to say Saturday. Then he played last night against Timberwolves, but they lost. He had 8 points. How will the Clippers look with Kawhi? They'll be better. James Harden's been holding it down since they've been playing competitive basketball. James Harden has been keeping them afloat in the conference. They've been in the playoffs, out in the standings, out and out standings. They've been 10th seed, 9th seed, 8, 7, 6, 5 at one point. Then they will drop back to 9, 6. So they're in that mix. They're going to make the playoffs probably, if not the play-in. But with Kawhi, as Kawhi keeps playing these games and get more healthy and get more in rhythm with the team and building chemistry, they'll be in the playoffs. They'll probably be like the 7th, like 8th seed, somewhere in that 7, 8 seed. Because you're starting to see teams kind of lose focus, like the Suns, and even the Lakers can be up and down, but the Suns and like the Kings, them teams are starting to lose who they are. They're starting to lose their identity. I don't know what it is, but it seems like every team that DeMar DeRozan goes to is kind of like an average team. The Spurs, they were an average team, not making the playoffs. First round exit team. Then he goes to the Bulls. They're a first round exit team or not making the playoffs. DeRozan, I don't know if maybe it's the way he's playing. Maybe it's a little bit too much ISO and not more team ball. Even though DeRozan's one of the best mid-range players of all time. It's no knock on him. Maybe he needs to be more, a little bit more passive, a little bit in situations to kind of help his team win. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But as far as the Clippers, man, yeah, it's gonna be interesting second half of the season for them to start 2025 and finish it off. But I think the Clippers will make the playoffs and Kawhi will get back. But as far as the Timberwolves, I mean, they beat them last night. Anthony Edwards showed us why he'll be the face of the league. He'll be the face of the league. I think he had 37 points. He hit 2 clutch threes that was needed. He even hit a step back three over two Clipper players. So he's showing that he's definitely he's showing us that he's definitely worth it, and that he can be an all-star this year. Hopefully his team losing won't affect him being an all-star. If it does, hopefully Anthony Edwards doesn't look at this as kind of like disrespect, but just something that's like just gotta be better moving forward. I can take that on advice for me in real life. I can take that same advice and apply it to myself in real life. But yeah. But yeah, man, hopefully he'll make the All-Star team. Hopefully they can turn it around. So, but I still think they should trade Julius Randle. I think they should do that. I mean, like, you lose Cat. I mean, you can go get a Vucevic. I mean, you tried the 2-man twin tower duo last year, so why not go and you found success? Why not? I mean, like, you can't get Cat back, but I mean, you can go look for like a Nikola Vucevic. I think Lou Will had mentioned this on his show, Run It Back. I think you can go get like a Vucevic. Another stretch 4 or stretch 5 or whatever, the pair of Gobert. Yeah, Vucevic is probably the best option. I mean, if you can't get Cat, I mean, you're not gonna get Cat back, so you gotta go get like a plan B, which would be Nikola Vucevic. I heard Valanciunas, but Valanciunas is a little too tall. I don't know. He's not like a stretch. I say I'll go get like Nikola Vucevic. I think you go get that to go pair with Gobert. Yeah, man, Timberwolves, hopefully they can turn it around. That's all I gotta say about that. What else? Oh, the Phoenix Suns, they beat the Sixers last night. They moved Bradley Beal and Yusuf Nurkic to the bench, but I want to talk about the Bradley Beal situation. Before we get into the Suns, actually, before we even talk about the Suns, let's talk about the Sixers. No Embiid last night, foot nose, from what they reported. The Sixers, I don't see them turn. I don't see things getting any better for them. I don't see them turning things around. I think they'll be a play-in team. They'll be a play-in team for sure. The Paul George fit, even though they've been hurt, I think they just gotta get healthy. But the Paul George experiment so far hasn't been working. So I don't know. Maybe you make a trade for a power forward. I don't suggest Julius Randle for that team specifically, but I don't know, man. Sixers, yeah, they're a playing team. That's all I gotta say. Tyrese Maxey probably won't be an All-Star this year because of how bad the team has been. So, yeah, I don't think Joel Embiid might not make an All-Star team either. So, because of like the games that he's missed, I would say so. It's unfortunate. But yeah, man, it's unfortunate. As far as the Suns, Bradley Beal, he's come off the bench because he's on the trading block. You say, hey, come off the bench, so you can up your value, you'll come off the bench, you'll be the main guy off the bench. And he wasn't. He came off the bench last night and he dropped 25 off the bench. Some say, yeah, man, he look real good. Yeah, I know, because he's about to get traded. Players that get moved to the bench and start playing really good, they're on the trading block. So John Kuminga, he's playing well off the bench because he's on the trading block. Yusuf Nurkic, trading block. So I don't know who Bradley Beal will get traded for. If it is Jimmy, I think that's the best option for the Suns right now. Because I'm assuming they're looking at Mason Plumlee as kind of like the starter. And I think they actually want more minutes from Bobo as well. So that's probably why Yusuf Nurkic on trading block. And also, I mean, let's speak on it. Yusuf Nurkic, I mean, he smacked another player on the Mavericks, Najee Marshall, and he got like 2-3 games. I mean, we're out here trying to win games. You out here playing, So I think if Nurkic gets moves, it's a maturity move. I think as far as it's a mentality move. It's just that they want somebody that's gonna take the game serious. And Yusuf Nurkic is not taking the game serious. He's just doing silly stuff on the court, and then you're gonna cost 3 games of your team. And the Suns have lost. Before last night, I think they lost like 4 games in a row. So, like I said, man, as far as moving Bradley Beal to the bench, I think I had said that on a previous episode. I said maybe Tyus Jones at the point, Devin Booker at the 2, KD at the 3, Bobo at the 4, and Nurkic at the 5. I said they go with that lineup right there. But I mean, it's hard to have 2 alpha shooting guards in the start lineup at the same time. Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, I mean, they're top 5 shooting guards in the league at one point. Before Bradley Beal got to the Suns, he was a top 5 shooting guard. He led the league in scoring at one point. I mean, you got 2 alpha shooting guards like that. I mean, it's going to be kind of hard trying to find rhythm with that, especially when you're in and out of lineup and you're hurt a lot. The chemistry can get messed up. At the beginning of the season, they were the 2nd seed. Injuries, so it's unfortunate, but it's good to see Bradley Beal look like his old self last year. I said last night. Last night he showed Washington Wizards Bradley Beal flashes last night. It was good to see, but at the same time, we know what's about to happen. So Bradley Beal is in high spirits, obviously. As he should, as he always does. So, but yeah, he's definitely about to get traded. I don't know where, but he'll definitely be getting traded. I say Miami, for Jimmy. Speaking of Jimmy, there have been reports coming out that Jimmy doesn't want to get traded to the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies were a team that I said that would be an ideal spot for him. But I think long term, and living wise, I don't think Memphis is the best spot for Jimmy. He's getting older, and I don't know if he wants to go out playing in Memphis specifically. So I mean, if he wants to contend and play in a great living situation, I mean, there's only a few places. You got Phoenix, LA. I don't know which team needs Jimmy the most. Probably the Lakers. I mean, they just traded for a wing, so getting another wing is kind of dumb because you need a point guard now and a big to pair with AD, which is what I've been saying. I mean, Jimmy on the Phoenix Suns makes the most sense. I mean, if Jimmy goes to like the Clippers, I mean, even if Jimmy goes to the Clippers, you gotta trade either Kawhi or Harden. You're not going to do that. So if you're the Clippers, you're not going to do that. So I say Jimmy goes to the Suns. I don't see anywhere else he's gonna. If he goes anywhere else, he's gonna disrupt chemistry now. Now stack 5. Steven Jackson from All the Smoke. I was watching All the Smoke this morning. Shout out to All the Smoke. Shout out to Matt Bombs, Stack 5 for the All the Smoke podcast. So Stack So Stack said you trade him to the Spurs. You trade Jimmy to the Spurs to play with Chris Paul and Wemby. That's a young team, but it's not like he's going there and they have no veterans. They have Chris Paul already. I mean, that'll work. That's like a little big three you can form down there. You can help Chris Paul. They both want to win. They're both competitive. Hopefully their personalities don't clash because Chris Paul and Jimmy have really big personalities. Hopefully, at times Chris Paul can be a little hard to work with on the court. I mean, we said something with Chris Paul and Draymond when they teamed up, but even though they didn't make playoffs, but I mean, we said the same thing last year with that. So I never thought about the Spurs, but the Spurs would be an interesting option. They do need a wing. I mean, Harrison Barnes he's all right. He's a good role player to have, but I mean, you can trade that for Jimmy. I gotta look at the contracts, but I mean, you can trade some pieces for Jimmy. They'll automatically be a playoff team because right there you'll have two closing players. You'll have three closing players. You got Jimmy, Chris Paul, and Wemby. My thing is Jimmy goes to the Spurs. Who's taking that last shot in a crunch time playoff situation? Who's taking that shot? Chris Paul, Jimmy, or Wemby? I'm gonna say Jimmy. Even though Chris Paul has hit clutch shots with Houston and Phoenix in playoff moments, even the Clippers, but I pick Jimmy because he's done it in the playoff. He done it in the playoffs and the finals. So I'll go with Jimmy. Spurs not a bad option. I like that stack. I like that scenario. I like that. But as far as where, I mean, the Suns, I'm gonna say the Spurs because that was new. Spurs. I think Boogie Cousins said the Timberwolves and the Timberwolves to pair him with Ant. Now that might be a little bit of a problem. I don't know. That's a lot of alphas. We got Ant and Jimmy. That's another interesting scenario. So yeah, not bad. I'm gonna still go with Phoenix. The Rockets was an option for me, but I feel like he might come in there and disrupt the young chemistry that they already have because the Rockets are already top 3 in the West. I know they dogged the Lakers, like they really dogged the Lakers. Yeah, they dogged the Lakers. The Rockets, they're the number 2 seed right now. You add Jimmy, you might disrupt some chemistry flow, unless you trade Jabari Smith. I don't think Jimmy should go there and disrupt what they already have going. It seems like they have an identity already, so I don't know if you want to go there and disrupt. But as far as any other team, I'm gonna be honest, I don't see one. So that's what I think about that situation. I think he still goes to Phoenix, but I think that's going to end the pod. It's like a little short pod. Nothing crazy. But as far as the Heat in general, I mean, the Heat, they've lost 3 in a row. But Tyler Herro's been balling, but they've been losing. Oh, breaking news. So Zion might make his debut tonight against the Timberwolves. Wait, hold on. They're saying that Zion might come back tonight. So Zion might make his debut tonight against the Timberwolves. So that's that. Kyrie, let me just go through this. So Zion might make his debut tonight. He's been out for a minute. Injury. He's been in trade rumors as well. He might get traded, but yeah. So Zion might make his debut tonight. From the reports that I've been seeing on Twitter. I'm trying to go to the actual I was gonna talk about the Shaq and Dwight beef, but I'm like, that's kind of like irrelevant. Shaq and Dwight they've been beefing for years now, so that's nothing new. But yeah, man, I'm reading it. Zion, he's back. I'm seeing reports. Um, I'm just seeing reports right now. So it's looking like it's looking like Zion will be returning tonight. So look forward to that matchup. Zion, he might be on match restriction, but yeah, man, Zion is making his day. Well, not debut, but he's making his return tonight. So yeah, that's good to see. Kyrie Irving is out with a disc in his back. They said a bulging disc in his back. So they said he'll be out for like a week, like 1 to 2 weeks. He'll be out. So no Luka, no Kyrie. They play the Lakers tonight. I'm not watching that game. Sorry. If they end up losing to if they end up losing to the Mavs with no Luka, Kyrie, the Lakers need to make another trade. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm just be honest, but so Zion comes back tonight. Kyrie's out. Cam Thomas got hurt again, hamstring, I think, again. There's been some injuries around the league. I'm just looking at the teams to see who has been hurt, like who's hurt, who's healthy. Carl Anthony Towns or Cat, he's been, I think he's hurt. Who's been the hottest team? The Cavs and OKC have been the hottest teams in the league, but I think OKC might be going to the finals this year. Between OKC and the Mavs, I think one of them will go to the finals this year. And they're going to play the Celtics. Nobody in the East is beating the Celtics. I'm going to keep on it. But yeah, man, nothing new. The Kings have won 5 straight since the firing. They went to double overtime last night against the Miami Heat. Yeah, Miami Heat double overtime last night against the Miami Heat. The Bulls and Spurs, that was a great fourth quarter game, but the Spurs lost. But this double overtime game, let's talk about it. So Hawkins had triple double, Bam 18-12, Ty Herro 26 points. DeMar DeRozan was hitting clutch shots last night. He finished the game with 30. Sabonis had 21 points, 18 rebounds, and 11 boards. Malik Monk was balling last night. That was a good game. I watched the highlights. I didn't watch. I watched the highlights. To be honest, I watched the highlights. But that was a good game last night. The Bucks won. Orlando beat the Knicks. The Knicks they're on a 3-game losing streak. The Pacers, Brooklyn. I didn't watch that game. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch that game. But let's see who scored. Who went crazy though? Nobody. So I'm not even gonna speak on it. But Spurs and Bulls, that was a good game last night. Zach LaVine I think he had like 37 last night. And Wemby had 20, so Wemby had 23 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 blocks. But I think he had 7 turnovers. No, so he had five turnovers. Yes, so Wemby has to work on his turnovers. But Zach LaVine had 35 points and 10 rebounds. Kobe White was balling. 23 points, 4 steals. Nikola Vucevic had 24 points, 11 rebounds. He might be getting traded. I think Zach LaVine and Vucevic might be getting traded, if we're being honest. I don't know where the Bulls are going to be going. As far as a franchise, I don't really see where they're going. But this is going to be a very interesting trade deadline. It's going to come up in February to see who's on the move or who's going to stay for the rest of the season and possibly get moved in the off season. So we'll see. This is going to end the pod right here. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. K-Dub-Palace. I am your host, K-Dub. Follow me on all platforms. Subscribe to me on all platforms. I have my Instagram at DripGuyKDub down in the description. Twitch and TikTok. Even though TikTok is coming to an end, I don't care. I'm not a TikToker, so I don't really care. But I get more attention on TikTok than I do anywhere else, to be honest. So I'm gonna keep doing that. And again, apologize for my energy, my mood. I'm just really out of it mentally. So, but I still gotta take care of my responsibilities. Still gotta take care of what I gotta take care of. So hopefully in the next video, it'll be a little bit better. Cause y'all can kind of tell I'm kind of forced myself to make this video. But it's great content for y'all, regardless of how many views or whatever. Hopefully I enjoy it. But this is gonna be it. I'll see y'all in the next episode. This has been another episode of K-Dub Palace, and I will see y'all in the next episode.